So October the 14th, 2023 is a Saturday. We had an annular solar eclipse. So the moon was further away from the Earth, but it still covered the sun. So here in Houston, we got about 94% coverage. Let's go to the pictures. This first picture, I'm going to put them here. The picture is approximately 15 minutes after start. So you see it's encroaching, the moon is encroaching in. You see those little dots, sunspots. I was like, wait a second, are those sunspots? And I looked at other pictures and I was like, I think those are. So the camera was able to pick it up. This is a Sony A7 III with a 70 to 200 2.8. I'm shooting wide, 2.8, shooting wide open. And I got one of these filters off of Amazon. This filter worked really great. I never had an issue with it. I literally just put duct tape and taped it to my lens. You get a little goo, a little residue on your lens, you just wipe it off. It's not that big a deal. You just wipe it off with like an alcohol wipe, it comes off, no problem. So, moving on, this is another 5 or 10 minutes. I was shooting video and then I would shoot like a time lapse. I would just record and wait for it to move across my screen on my camera. I would stop it and I would take some pictures. So every picture is about 15 to 20 minutes apart from each other. So it was just the way I kept track of all of it. This is moving a little bit further on. So this is almost an hour in. It's about 70%. So this picture is a little bit soft on the focus, and it just bothers me that I was hitting autofocus, and I guess I just, because in that little range of pictures that I took, they were all just out of focus. So this is right around 11, I think the apex was right around noon here in Houston. I think everywhere, or you know how, in our time zone I should say. So this is right around peak. So this is 90-ish percent. 94 was total here, was all that we got here in Houston. This is like the 90-ish section. So this is just before, and then the next picture is just after. So there's not much of a difference, but the way that moon is set and how just you see how and the interesting thing about the reality of the situation is this was going on, and outside the sunlight was just a bit dampened. It was kind of like you're looking through sunglasses, but like very light tint sunglasses. You're looking through tinted windows in a car. If you've ever driven in a car that has tinted windows and you kind of look out, everything kind of looks a little bit muted, but not like sunglass dark. That's kind of how it was. It was really interesting. You kind of would notice it, except the one thing that you did notice, I'll put that picture into. This is the picture of the shadows. I couldn't think of the word. The shadows turned into a pinhole camera, so all the shadows were half moons. That was really fun. I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. Because that was one thing I just happened to look down. I was like, oh, that's right, shadows change. And I was looking at all the leaves. The shadows of the leaves were all half moons because of the way. So anyway, this is about 15 minutes after apex. So the sun, the moon kind of went at an angle in front of it, if that makes any sense. The pictures show it more, but the sun kind of went like that, and then the moon I should say, the moon moved along, and so like this is like 15, 20 minutes after apex, and then you see the moon slowly dipping away, and I noticed looking up, I guess the southwestern corner of the sun, if that makes any sense. There's probably a scientific term for it, and I just don't know. So this is the last picture I took. This was as the moon is drifting away off the bottom of the sun, so to speak, or at least that's how our perspective looks. So it was just an incredible event. It was amazing. There's going to be another one in April. So April, my plans are to use my 600 millimeter lens. The problem with going 600 millimeters at that, when you're shooting something like that, things move really fast because you're zoomed in really tight. Easy problem to solve. You just you have to move more. Not that big a deal. And the sun will be a little bit higher in the sky because it'll be April, because it'll already be moving towards its summer position. or the Earth is moving, I should say. Anyway, I'm going to use 600, and I'm going to try to get in really tight, and I'm going to buy, because this little lens cover, or the filter, worked perfectly for the 70 to 200 size lens. The 600 is a little bit bigger. The 200 to 600 lens is a little bit bigger, and this wouldn't cover the whole thing, and I was afraid that light leakage would screw up the picture, or worse, you know. So I'm going to buy the sheets that they sell for photography. It's basically like a welding mask, but like the welding material, but like in a larger sheet, so that way it'll fit that larger lens. I wanted to buy one, but then by the time I just stopped being lazy about it or whatever, they were already, it was like, it'll ship today. It's like a week after, half like 4 or 5 days afterwards I would have gotten it, which would be useless. So I'm going to order one soon, probably in like a few days, so that way I'll have it for April, and I'll just shoot it that way. But I think my pictures came out pretty good. There's always room for improvement, blah blah blah, but this was a lot of fun. I was really excited about watching it, and I could just watch it in my backyard. This is all shot in my backyard. I didn't have to go anywhere. My wife was like, "You don't want to drive somewhere?" It's like, I kind of do, but then I don't have to deal with crowds. I was in my backyard. I could walk inside, go grab a drink, go grab a snack, and just walk right back out to my backyard. So that's the fun part about it. The other one, this one went from like easterly, southeasterly to northwesterly. The other one's going to go southwesterly to northeasterly, I believe. So we'll deal with that when we get there. But I think this was a great event to view. They always are fun to watch, but now I know, okay, what I need and what I don't need to get in the way. So this was a lot of fun. I just wanted to share the pictures too, because the video came out pretty good, and I think the pictures came out really good. So there we go. Eclipse 2023 will be back in April, hopefully.